This is Greensboro.
Welcome to This is Greensboro. This is Camelia with you, and today we have Fanatic with us. How are you doing today, Fanatic?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
Good. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing with the Culture Push.
Okay. The Culture Pushers. Okay. We are, we're a collective out here of creatives, musicians, filmmakers, artists, producers, singers, and what we do is we collaborate to build the community up, the artist community up, the creative community up. So we've done pop-up events with Wrangler, where we brought a collective of artists in and we performed in the store. We did a benefit concert for the tornado victims over on the east side, where we raised money and helped those families out. And we're doing art exhibits, and we're doing a benefit album for the United Way to end poverty here in Greensboro. So we just use music as a tool to try to help the community and address its needs and the things that are going on out here.
Okay, awesome. That's very, very honorable. When did the idea of the Culture Pusher start? And
it started when I did, I came home and did a master class. And when I did the master class, a lot of people came out, and there were people that I hadn't seen in a very long time. It was people that I didn't know that were interested in the music business. It was people that hadn't worked together in a long time and maybe had differences and stopped working together and all of this. And so at the end of the class, I realized when I looked around the room, we were able to bring all these people in the room through music, and they started interacting and they started talking about collaborating and working together. And that's when I realized, like, we should form a collective of people and bring them all together to do things. So when you bring them in the room, you know, the possibilities are endless at that point.
Absolutely, it does take a lot. Like doing things together definitely is better than alone. So for those who don't know, you're actually from the area, right?
Yes, I was born in Poughkeepsie, New York, but I've lived in Greensboro my whole life, so I claim Greensboro. And when I graduated from high school, I went to Greensboro Day School, and then I went to Ben L. Smith. And when I graduated, I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta and studied the music business. Came back home. We had a record label out here called Payroll Records, and we were able to, you know, have success doing hip hop. We had an independent hip hop label out here. And then from there, I ended up moving to New York, and I was in New York for like 12 years doing music. And then I moved out to the West Coast, and I was in LA for about 7 years, and I just came home in January.
Okay, awesome. So what made you transition back here after, you know, your success in the music business and the industry and everything? What now? Why Greensboro now?
Because I the whole time I was gone, you know, I was producing music and having success, but the movement I was trying to build in those cities, I wasn't able to do it there. And I realized that, you know, all these artists that were very successful with building a movement, they were doing it in their hometown. And I didn't even realize that until I really started to look at it, and I realized that, you know, Cash Money did their thing in New Orleans, Nelly did his thing in St. Louis, Puffy in New York, you know, The Roots did their thing in Philly. And so I realized that you have to have the support of the community, you have to have your family and friends behind you in order to, you know, be successful. And I couldn't get that in New York and LA. I was just working there and making money. And then at the same time, coming home, now at this point in my career, purpose is a big part of everything that I do. So before I was just doing music, now I've put purpose in the equation, and what better place that you can, you know, serve your purpose than in your hometown and helping people, you know, reach their dreams.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And so your purpose, is it to have the collaborative effect, or is there another vision on top of that?
Well, when I say purpose, it's more or less just like educating people on how to navigate through the music business, because we lose so many musicians and artists that get broken and turned off by the music business. We all know somebody that has the gift, but because of life and the music business ups and downs, they got turned off and they stopped following their dreams. So my job is to really, everything that I went through, the ups and downs in the music business, was for this moment to try to help other people. So now I have a testimony that I can share with people and help them navigate through the business, give them information to avoid some of the pitfalls and things like that. And at the same time, just show people that even though you're from a small town, you can still dream larger than life and make things happen. So we're all about just showing people, like, let's get together, let's collaborate. When you look at teams are the things that always make things happen. When you come together, we did it. I mean, you can go all the way back to the Underground Railroad, the Civil Rights Movement,
all different
to Obama getting elected in office. Anytime we all come together to do something, we're able to make things happen. And when I came back here, I saw people were doing their thing in their own little corners versus like, let's all come together and do something. We're more powerful.
That's so true. That's so true. So how would you share with one as to how they should select their team? What is some key pointers that you could give to an artist or a producer or someone in the film industry as to like some key points, what to look for in regards to their team?
Well, the first thing is find like-minded people that share the same vision and the ideas that you have. Find people that can take your vision and take it a step further and add on to it because they share the same passion that you do. Passion is very important, people that work just as hard as you and they're constantly thinking about this 24 hours a day the way that you do, because in order to make it, you have to just chip away at it every single day. And so you want that person on your team that does the same thing, like they're flooding you with emails and text messages and they're always having conversations with you about how to get to the next step that you guys are trying to accomplish. So I would find passionate people around you. I would find people that will work hard. I will find people that are resourceful, because when you don't have budgets and you don't have money to facilitate your dream, you got to find people that can make things happen. They know how to build relationships and make things happen, because you don't have any budget to make it happen. And at the same time, also find people that are really good at networking and can go in the room and establish rapport with a stranger and make connections and things like that. So you got to have 3 or 4 people around you from the start that really understand your vision, and they all facilitate something different, and more importantly, they take pride in what they do. So if this guy is great at networking, that's what he brings to the table, so that's all he really focuses on versus trying to wear multiple hats. So
yeah, that's really, really good. That's good. So what's the next step? Like, how are you getting the culture pushers out into the community? I know you have different events that you said you spoke of and things like that. So where can we see you, or what are you going to be doing?
Well, we come out to these events that we're going to be holding over the next year. We're always in the community collaborating with somebody to do something in the event space or the entertainment space. We are going to start a record label out here for recording artists in the area that don't have an outlet to go to New York and LA. We want to find artists here, and build the music community here. So we're looking for artists. We also are doing things in the tech space. So it's a lot of different things that we have on the plate that we're going to do, but they're all, based around trying to build the entertainment scene here in Greensboro, so that these people don't leave and go to New York and LA to do it when they can do it right here. So they just need to have an outlet, and so we want to be that outlet for these creatives to really reach their dreams and do it at a high level here in Greensboro.
Yeah, that's really good. I see myself a lot of different artists and things like that that are out here, and that's going to be very vital, I think, myself personally, to this community. You have Charlotte, and then you have to travel down to Atlanta, so that's very, very good. How can we find you on it?
We are on all the social platforms, but mostly Instagram. You can find at the Culture Pushers on Instagram, and myself is I'm at Experience Fanatic, and Fanatic is spelled Fanatic. So at Experience Fanatic is where you can find me. We're always posting new stuff of things that we have going on and events and projects that we're working on, and just follow us and just watch what we're doing. And see if you can join in with us and participate in these things, because we work with everybody in the community.
Any particular artists or anyone you're looking for in general, like you got your eye on, or anything like that?
Not so much. Just people that are really talented and that work really hard. We work with a lot of artists in our Culture Pushers collective that we have, and it's probably about 20 or so acts. We're about to work on this United Way album to end poverty here in Greensboro. And that album is going to, consist of the entire music community out here. So I'm sure we're going to come in contact with a lot of different artists. Follow me on Instagram, once again, at Experience Fanatic. And if you're an artist and you have what it takes, and you're different, and you're very talented, and you work hard, hit us on there. We'd love for you to be a part of the album as well.
That sounds good. Awesome. So anything else that you would want to say, or any, right now for the Culture Pushers, or anything in general that we can take?
I just want people to learn to collaborate with each other and share ideas and help each other get to where we're going. I mean, technically, that's really why we're here. We're all supposed to be able to help each other get through it, and nobody can do it by themselves. So, whether it's the music business or it's life in general, let's help each other, get through it.
I don't want to shine a light too much on it, but some people may not know who you've done business with in the industry and stuff like that. So before we close, tell us a little bit more, because when they see this, see the video, they may want to be interested in who you've done business with. Your resume a little bit.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Drake?
Oh, I think Drake? Yeah, I've heard of Drake.
Okay, well, I didn't work with him.
Okay.
But I have produced records for Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Lil' Kim, Biggie, Mace, Anthony Hamilton, Will Smith, Boyz II Men, Raheem DeVaughn, Angie Stone. I've been producing for a very long time, and I've been fortunate enough to work with, did I say Beyonce?
I think you said Beyonce.
Okay. I've been that was one of my favorite ones to work with. But I've been producing for a while, and I've been very fortunate to work with those artists. But now I'm looking for new artists. For a producer, it's cool to work with those artists, but it doesn't, a producer really puts a stamp on it when he can take an unknown artist and deliver it to the marketplace successfully, because you're the vision behind the artist with the music and how the artist's image is and everything like that. So I'm more interested in the challenge of finding the next Beyonce or the next Michael Jackson and deliver them, to the marketplace.
That's really, really good. I went to an event in Raleigh, North Carolina Hip Hop Festival, and what's his name? Light. Last name is Light or Lyles or something like that. So he was there and spoke, and
Kevin Lyles.
Yeah, he was there. He spoke on a lot of different things like that. Just being true to yourself, the endurance, the resilience, and all those things that you're saying. So these are two credible people who are saying the same thing. So.
And I've seen so many artists, there's an artist now by the name of Ro James that's out, right?
I love him.
So I knew Ro James early in his career, and he was just very relentless, and it was so crazy. It was like a crew of them all trying to go for the same thing to get signed. And with him, he was just very relentless, and he got on. It's basically an endurance test, and if you can endure, you will win.
Okay, well, we appreciate you taking your time to come and share with us, and we just want to welcome you to follow us on Instagram, Facebook as well. And this is Greensboro. This is Camellia, and we have who?
Fanatic.
And watch us, follow us, support us as well. Thank you.